Jacob and Evie are twins, as you know, but they are very different. So that's something that I've always found interesting to play on because it plays to the roots of the franchise, which is all about DNA. And having those twins that are really different and we can explore their different personalities is at the core of what we set out to do.
We wanted to tell the brother-sister story. There's so many revenge stories and redemption stories, but the brother and sister story is very unique. You can do it a lot of different ways. And we tried to really explore that kind of way of storytelling.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Jacob and Evie Frye.
Jacob and Evie grew up just outside of the city, and it seems like Jacob's, in terms of the brotherhood that he's grown up with, his father was from a far more ordered brotherhood, trying to do things in a more methodical, kind of, slowed down way, and not wanting to get into London to take the Templars out. And I think due to Jacob's he has a very fiery nature. He just wants to get stuck in there. He's like a bull in a china shop. Has been a bit difficult for him as he's grown up.
He's not super subtle. He's a different kind of assassin than what we've seen, but he brings this fresher take on the series and what it could mean to be an assassin during the Industrial Revolution.
He addresses problems straight on. He's using those knuckles and those knuckle dusters quite a lot. He's got a very great sense of humor, I believe. He's quite sarcastic, and he likes to have fun in every single situation. He sees a great opportunity to create a different kind of London, a London that's more free for the people, which is, I think, what Jacob's about, which is what that, the type of the Brotherhood and the Assassins, they're all about, is, restoring, control back to the people in some capacity. He's not devoid of that at all, Jacob. He wants the people to rule the city, and that's why he stays to complete the mission with his sister. So they're still trying to accomplish their father's work.
Lots of guards, predictable patrol routes. Thorn may already be inside. Better stick to the shadows.
Evie decides to go to London because after her father dies, she's torn because she wants to stay and finish missions where she is, and she thinks that London is, a huge place where she may be out of her depth. But with the confidence of Jacob and the ability to just push and maybe get her out of her comfort zone, she goes there and realizes that that's where she can make the most difference and that's where she can help the most. And I think that's a big objective of Evie's, is to help and to make a difference and change.
That's all for the men out here. What's next?
Miss Thorn wants me captured. If she sees me in chains, she might let her guard down. Can you make it look convincing?
You mean pretend like you're my prisoner? I'll do my best, Mum.
She's observant, she's a master of stealth, and she thinks a lot before she acts. So she's very bookish in that way.
But because they're twins, they realize that without the other, they're never going to complete this mission.
They're much more stronger characters because of each other. They represent, two facets of the society, as we always like to say, the rebel and the reserved. And they're always challenging each other. Looking at Jacob and Evie and having this kind of sibling rivalry going on kind of gave us the stage to do kind of a very interesting humor for the players to experience. So while both of them are, masters assassins kind of coming into the game right out of the gate, they play against each other.
Given both of their skills and their qualities, if you put them together, they've got the ultimate assassin. And, that's what's needed to take down the Templars in London.
The process for designing both Jacob and Evie was continuous. Right from the beginning of sketches, right up until the modeling phase, even after the concept art is done, that's a starting blueprint. And so through discussions with story, and as the story develops, the narrative may change in ways that we may want to adapt the visual look.
But we did explore quite a few avenues. At some point we were a bit too much on the steampunk side. We had too much detail. Often it's about simplicities.
In designing Jacob, we certainly felt like we wanted to nail an attitude. Nailing an attitude was the main inspiration, primarily, for Jacob, and trying to get that rebel attitude, even before we knew much about who the character was or what that journey for that character was going to be. We're searching for a visual language that kind of evokes that attitude, that kind of roguish, devil-may-care personality. In designing Evie, we wanted her to have her own look, but she needed to be as able as Jacob, as physical. Physical in a different way. We wanted to make sure that we avoided a lot of the tropes that are very typical in video game design for women. And so we wanted to make sure that we focused on her strengths and her abilities.
You can only write so much, and then you take your script to the motion capture shoot and you see them come to life physically. So you write the words with the intonations that you want, but there is a lot to be said in the silent physicality that both actors bring to Evie and Jacob, whether it's just the smiles or the glances or the eye rolling, and it just brings that much more life into it.
The Blighters control every criminal enterprise in the city. If they worked for us...
Yes, but they work for the Templars.
No, they're paid off by the Templars. Slight difference.
We did all kinds of physicality stuff, and literally we were just in a room walking around doing all those sort of exercises. It was kind of a bit like being back in drama school, and it was really essential, and we hung out all week. We really got to know each other, and we got a good in-depth kind of approach into what we were going into and what we thought of the characters. And how we can make that work.
As an actor, for me, it was just absolutely liberating because I got to live in an imaginary world that didn't have to be what anybody else had said it to be. So, although we had the parameters of Victorian England, it was my Victorian England.
It's like a dream come true in some way. You know, we have to be thinking that it's a unique life occasion to work on such a big brand that has so much visibility all around the world, and being able to be the part of the team that create the new icon, the new hero for such a big franchise, it's just awesome.
I think Syndicate is going to surprise people because it's very upbeat. It's tongue-in-cheek. There are a lot of very moments that just, even to this day, make me laugh after I've played the game 100 times. Oftentimes I will just turn around, talk to François Pénard, our senior producer, and just tell me how much of a good laugh or a good moment I've had, listening to the banter between Jacob and Evie. Jacob really brings a smile to my face every time he opens his mouth. I'm in love with the guy. He's just so funny, well acted. And Evie brings a completely different perspective to the game. So this banter between Jacob and Evie, I think, brings a lighter tone to the series and makes it a very enjoyable, fresh, and different experience.